Should have kept the all-in. Now Toss is winning hard. Yeah, it's a hard one to call. I'll be honest, I don't think the all-in would have worked anyway, just because if you remember, Storm was already ready, but there was maybe a better chance of that working. Otherwise, I would have said that that there would have been that maybe DRG should have had a little bit more urgency getting into even lair tech lurkers just to defend and survive. But even if that was the case, even if he was more defensive after the all-in had subsided, even if that was the case, remember, Classic, he was already going to Sky Toss. So even if he had gotten a wall of lurkers first to defend and to be defensive, then Sky Toss would have overrun him anyway with the Tempest production. So like DRG, it was a really rough position in the aftermath of that. So true, like maybe a higher chance for him winning if he had just committed. But it was not an easy game there for DRG regardless. Meanwhile, we're getting into our next game. We're getting into our next series here, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Leylines, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. Again, last season's runner-up, it is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have our Blue Zerg. It is Dong Rei Gu. Here we go, the one true Dong. Who stuck around in SE2? Huh? Jaedong? Nah. Dong Rei Gu, baby. Let's go. As we do open up Hatch Gas Pool, we do have our standard opener here out of DRG. Likewise, Cure opening up standard as well. As again, this is going to be our final qualifying match of the broadcast. We are still only a third of the way through the qualifiers. Again, there are just so many qualifying matches. We are going to be having a second broadcast in how many hours time? 6 hours. 6 hours from now. So in 6 hours time, which is not much time to sleep, but I'm going to try to sleep as much as I can. So in 6 hours, we're going to be live again with another 6 qualifying matches. So we have split up the GSL qualifier coverage into 3 different broadcasts. This is the first one. Then tonight in 6 hours is the second one. And then tomorrow, before day 2 of DreamHack Dallas is going to be our third one. So all the GSL coverage. Likewise, fun fact, I woke up this morning, I jumped right into casting, but we did get an email, and we are approved to cover DreamHack Dallas, so we are going to be casting. DreamHack Dallas. That is going to be DreamHack Dallas is in 11 hours. Jesus. So in 6 hours, we have another cast. And then 11 hours from this message, which would be 5 hours after our next cast, we have Dallas starting. So, and that's going to be like a 12-hour cast. Like Dallas is usually like 10 to 14-hour days. So I'm going to average it out at 12 hours. So Dallas is... It's an intense weekend, Pappy, an intense weekend. Then right after that, then we have another GSL cast. Then we have day 2 of Dallas. Then we have day 3 of Dallas. 3 days of Dallas. Aye. But yes, I can now confirm we have approval. So we are going to be casting Dallas. So if you want all the GSL and Dallas coverage, we got you covered. We got you. We are approved to cast day 1, and we might cast day 2 as well, and then we're gonna be co-streaming day 3. Gonna be co-streaming, which is kind of like a watch party, I guess, where we have permission to show the main stream on screen, and then we like commentate over it. So we do have permission to co-stream. What's your guess for the Dallas winner? I think like the easy one to predict is Clem. Like Clem is still the best player in the world for sure. For those who don't know, Clem, he has been in Korea. He's flying to Dallas from Korea. He was practicing in Korea, training and looking quite terrifying in doing so. So I think the boring answer is Clem. The spicy answer, if you're on the hero hype train, is Hero. Like Hero has been looking really good against Clem. Like they often trade, and I can see Hero beating Clem for sure. I can see Serral beating Clem. Like obviously, like Hero, Serral, Clem, I can see them trading against each other. But yeah, I would say that the boring answer is that the head says Clem, the heart says Hero. There you go. There you go. I was settling in. And of course, we still have like Serral and Raynor and Maru and other competitors that can threaten the players. For sure, 100%. It's going to be a very stacked tournament. Very stacked. As behind this, we do have our initial setup here. Third CC before Starport. Economic opener out of Cure. Building up into the mid game. Meanwhile, DRG, he's going into Ling Bane. Not into Roach play. Going to Ling Bane instead. Which I appreciate, considering the amount of Roach play we saw earlier out of Shin. Clem Protoss or Clem Terran? I mean, it's Terran. Actually, I would say there is a chance. There is a decent chance, I would say, if anyone's gonna beat Clem, Cure could do it as well. I think Cure. I think it's hard to say. I was gonna say that I think Cure's TVP can. I think outside of Clem, Cure has the best TVP in the world. Like Cure's TVP is better than Maru, better than Bjorn, better than any other Terran player except for Clem. So in that matchup, I think Cure has the best chance. But the problem is that they practice together. That's the problem. Is that Clem and Cure, they're teammates, and they said that they've spoken about it in interviews. They do practice together. So on the one hand, I do really like Cure's TVP against all the other Protosses. I would imagine that Clem is a lot more comfortable against Cure though, like more so than others. So it's hard to say. I do think he has a good chance though. Like we've seen Cure beat Clem before, but the fact that they practice together, and the fact that Clem was just in Korea as well, so they probably played together there then as well. Like it complicates things when it comes to how Cure would fare against Clem. Clem is the best in the world right now? Yes. Clem has been the best in the world for about a year. For about a year. For now, though, we're going to be settling in. I mean, it's been pretty passive. It's been a pretty passive game so far. DRG just going hatch gas pool, droning up, saturating his bases. He's been left alone. Cure, likewise, just now being active, going for a 7-minute push. Cure, he's leaving his tanks at home, so he's only applying pressure. He's only applying some light pressure here, leaving his tanks at home. But do you see what I see? I see 3 more Raxes on the way. We're getting into an 8-rack setup back at home, I believe. Yeah, we're getting into 8 Raxes. So Curie setting up for a 3-base all-in. You can see here he does not saturate his gas, just pure marine tank. So with this setup, he can make 12 marines at a time. It's going to be 12 marines and tank production, and the goal is to break DRG here and now with his next wave. And Curie's going to start. He's not going to stop. As you can see on the production tab, 12 marines at a time. Like that's an 8 racks. So 3-base all-in. This has been very trendy as of late. I mean, Maru did nothing but 3-base all-in in GSL. And if you were watching yesterday and watching GSL in general, you'll know that Cure did nothing but 2-base all-in against Protoss. Almost nothing. So again, the all-in has arrived. Back at home, what do you have to defend? A Hive is on the way. That's not going to help. Hydrogen's on the way. That's not going to help either. We need as much Ling Bane as possible. DRG needs to mass up as much Ling Bane as he can. He does catch reinforcements, not bad. Does catch out some of the rally. Ooh, he does force Cure back. Okay, not bad. That was a bit of an F2. Bit of an F2 out of Cure. Cure moving in. Cure does move in. And again, you can see DRG is getting ready for the surround, coming from behind the 360. Let's go. Does come in. Bathing they crash on 4. They shut down the Marines. And with that, DRG, he will shut down the all-in. Cure, he plummets in supply. Loses all the tanks, the Marines, the bio. And DRG, remember, he's on 89 workers. The Hive is about to finish. And from here, he can go into Ultras. He can go into Ultras, he can go into Vipers. Cure is still very all-in. He still has to end the game. Cure still rallying. I mean, he still has a competitive army. So he's still up in army supply. Uh-oh. Cure, he's not done. Cure, he's not done at all. Once again, catching reinforcements. DRG does slow Cure down. Does force him back. It means that Cure, he cannot reinforce. He has half his army at home. Meanwhile, infestors have arrived. Cure trying to move out. Nice auto stepping. Now, bearing in mind that Cure, he's still not expanding. Like, Cure, he's still all in and he's not transitioning out of it. He's still all in. Still doubling down. As I say that, now we get a 4th CC. Now, this is a very late 4th base out of Cure. This is almost like last game where DRG did decide to drone. Here, Cure, he's decided now to try to macro, but it is late. Reinforcements getting caught out. DRG, he does spot the CC. He should be feeling good about that. And this game is looking more and more dire for Cure. DRG collapsing in. Getting on top of the bio, getting on top of the tanks. He will once again clean everything up. Medevacs do survive, but only the medevacs. And from here, where are we teching? We have the Hive, we're now going into Adrenal, into Lingbane Hydra. No Infestors, sorry, no Vipers yet, and no Ultra Cavern either. So just committing here into Lingbane and Hydras. And the win condition for DRG is never allow Cure to expand. Like Cure, his 4th base is already incredibly late. And DRG is going to be the first to max, and he can apply that pressure. Now, the pressure is going to be on Cure to go for this drop play. And this is less about getting damage and more about buying time and keeping DRG busy. If he can keep him busy, then he can expand. And he can stabilize. There we go. Does force a big reaction. The base is getting low. Uh-oh. And it looks like he will not get the expansion. Likewise, Cure going for a split push here on the south side as well. DRG, he's ready for this. Still no Vipers, which is concerning to me. As the Medevacs, they do just get away. And DRG is taking up into Lurkers. Okay, Lurker take is on the way. Cure is expanding, and DRG has to do something about this. Yeah, he's going for it. He knows. Yeah, DRG, he knows he has to break this 4th. Collapsing on the army. Banelings, they do roll in. Not the best connections here against the Marauders. Oh, and yeah, this is a poor trade here for DRG. Decent fungals. Okay, breaks through the Marauders, but does not get the expansion. Yeah, this was not quite worth it. Nice hold here from Cure. He defends well. DRG does instantly remax, but that was a very efficient fight for Cure. As DRG, he failed to get the mineral line, failed to get the base. Liberators are moving in. DRG does commit. Oh, mine shots going off. Oh, Bailey's into the tank. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, once again, a rough fight for DRG, and Cure, he's pulling this off. He's getting to 3-3 upgrades. Cure pushing forward. Does move forward. The Lurker Den is done. But no Lurkers yet. Committing hard into the Hydras. Oh, the mine shots are brutal. Oh my god. Bane's it cleaned up, and no shot. Cure, he's doing it. Cure, stimming on in. DRG needs more time. He's got Lurker upgrades on the way. But no Lunkers. Okay, it's mainly Marauder based. The Lingbane trades well. He does trade well. Hydra's pushing forward, but he's running out of Lingbane, and without Lingbane, he cannot fight this head on. He needs more Banelings. Oh, mine just going off. Does force a bit of friendly fire. Does drag the mine. And again, DRG is barely holding, barely surviving. And we need some Lunkers, please. As Curie rotates, we'll knock down the base. Lurker range is about to finish. Did you see DRG coming in for this round? Trying to collapse on the army. Takes down the Liberators. And he's holding. Yeah, DRG, he holds on. He's on 94 workers. And even though these trades were brutal and they were better for Cure, DRG's economy was untouched. 94 workers, economy is untouched. He's still able to remax, able to build up. DRG still has a greater economy. Fun fact, even though Cure expanded, he never made SCVs. These are not fresh SCVs, they were transferred. They were transferred over. As Cure, he's still hyper aggressive and he's not really making more workers. He's now expanding. That's the main base floats over. That's how desperate Cure is. That's how committed he is. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for DRG. Lings, they hit the mineral line. SCV is going to be going down. SCV's that Cure is not replacing. When brutal connections. Yeah, workers are going down. And DRG, at this point, he's done it. At this point, he has done it. Cure, he's down to 47 workers, barely an economy. And he has no tech. Like, he has no further tech. He has no ghosts. He's not ready for lunkers. Likewise, he cannot just keep up with these trades. Nice snap on the base. Likewise, DRG out of position. Cure, he snipes 2 bases. Not bad. Takes down 2 expansions. Cure 47 SCVs. That's all you need, Pap. True. 47 SCVs. And again, Cure, he hasn't made a worker in minutes. Or I say minutes, like 5-6 minutes. It's been a long time. Ever since the initial 8 racks. Cure, he has a super maxed army. He's at 150 army supply. That's crazy. But here we go. It's only 3 lurkers though. A couple of lurkers, but there's only 3. Like, I can say purely bio army without liberators, without tanks, without ghosts. Like, lurkers are ideal, but there's barely any. We need more lunkers back. That's all we need. But now we're rotating over. Pushing on in, nice sliding cloud. And we do spread well. But Curie does take a lot of banelings to the face. The army's overstimmed. Remember, Curie cannot sustain these losses. Curie, he's broke. Like, he's broke, he has no money. These are trades that he cannot afford. There we go. 5 lurkers now morphing in. Let's go. Finally, the lunkers, Pappy. They're coming. Oh, that's what they were. As lurkers, they were harassing. Even here, they trade well. They're going to be cleaned up, but they take down a decent chunk of bio in the process. And here comes DRG. Ooh, running into a minefield. Oh my god. Does run into a minefield. Lakers have arrived. Liberators go down. Meanwhile, this drop play is so annoying. Just tipping away at DRG. Catching him off guard. They might get another expansion. Not like this. There we go. Takes down the medevac. Takes down the medevac, and Cure, he's just hoping that he can somehow break the spirits of DRG. He's doing well with that. Killing bases. Slowing DRG down. But here comes the main fight, and there's almost nothing at home. There's not really much here to work with. Here lunges forward, takes down the Liberators, links their bus into the mineral line. And there's just not much left here for Cure. I say he's hoping. He's coping, Pat. He's coping. Ah. Be careful, Cure. Don't have too much copium, it's dangerous. So here we go, we do abduct in those medevacs. GG gets called, and DRG will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. With that, DRG does take a lead. A very impressive game here, but again, a lot of it came down to the initial defense. As a reminder, Cure, he was all in. Cure, he was 3 base all in, and DRG did a great job at slowing it down, at catching reinforcements, at picking off those marines, picking off the tanks, forcing Cure to not be able to reinforce his army, and with that, he was completely surrounded. The 360 surround was insane out of DRG, shut down the initial all in, and from there, DRG, he never really let go of the game. He was able to be in control the entire time. Cure definitely had some moments where he was threading threatening his opponent, and it was impressive that Curie was able to keep himself going for as long as he did, but at no point was he ever building up towards a longer game. Like, the entire time he was committed, he was all in. He may have been able to get another base, but he was never making any SCPs. He was just trying to maintain the economy that he had to begin with, and he tried to leverage that from there with that GG. GG well played. With that, we are getting into our next game, getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover. It is, for Team Liquid, Pure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, himself. It is Dong Rei Gu. Leading the series 1-0. Let's go. And Kira, I'm sure, is going to think better. Oh, let's go. Setting up the low ground. Kira, I'm sure, is going to think better of going for an 8 racks, as we do open up 2 racks Reaper. Okay, so much more aggressive start here by Kira. Much more aggressive. Spam the Dorito to feed VIP Rito. Ah, that's a stretch. I am going to get some food after this, though. I'm going to get some breakfast, and then I'm going to get some sleep. Again, the next cast is in 5.5 hours, so I don't have a lot of time. But right after this cast, I'm going to get some food, then go to bed, and then wake up, and then we got like 16 hours of casting. Let's go. Let's go. Meanwhile, I said 2 racks Reaper. My apologies, 3 racks Reaper. 3 racks Reaper, that much more committed here from Cure. Very aggressive. As a reminder, this is not an all-in. This is not an all-in. This is designed to punish. This is designed to cripple the economy, or I should say to keep a lid or ahead of the economy here of DRG, to keep him contained on 2 bases. Ideally, you do want to pick off some drones and pick off some queens. Ideally, you want more than just contain, but that's the bare minimum that we're looking for. As Reapers are amassing, Overlord Scout does confirm with this DRG he should not pull out of gas. Yep, doesn't pull out, he should stay in gas and prioritize link speed. Now from here, there are a couple of different responses. We could just play 2-base Roach, we could respond with a 2-base Link Bane all in. DRG being greedy, okay, there we go, he pulls back. DRG checks, he confirms a 3rd racks. So you saw that he was about to expand, but he pulls back the worker. He sees that there is a 3rd racks, he knows that he cannot defend his 3rd, and he stays on 2 bases. He is contained on 2 bases. Oh. As now the Reapers, they do threaten the Queen. But so far, DRG, he is holding on. He is keeping up. Cure, he rotates to the high ground. And so far, he has not gotten any... Oh, sorry, he's gotten 1 drone. He's gotten 1 drone so far. Ideally, he wants the Queen as well. Like that's poking in. Once again, rotating again. He's still making 3 Reapers at a time. Oh, the Queen looking isolated. Uh-oh. Yeah, the Queens are getting very low here. This is getting quite close. But link speed is almost done. And once link speed finishes, then DRG he holds. Just needs a little bit more time for link speed. A little bit more. As it is about to complete. It's done. Now he breaks out. He does break out. Curie has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. And now DRG can expand. There we go. There's the 3rd base. Now he expands. Again, it's a late expansion for DRG, and he had to invest into all these lings, but he does survive. He does hold. And now Cure backs off, getting to his follow-up into his own 3-1-1. Stim is on the way. We have reactors as well going to +1. Interesting response here by Cure. So basically, what you often see after a 3-racks Reaper, instead of this eBay, and instead of this factory, we see a CC. So a 3rd command center to get into a longer game state, right? To go into Stim, 3rd CC into the mid game. Here, no 3rd CC. This is looking more like a 2-base all-in. really fast singular eBay for +1. Really fast factory here into a starport. I would imagine into medevac support. This is looking more and more like a very strong stim timing from Cure. And again, borderline all in. Like, we'll see if he expands. Like, we spoke about this last night, how Cure, it's almost like he's reinvented himself. Like, he's been, like, hyper aggressive and, again, non-stop all-ins against Protoss at least. And we're seeing some of that here against Zerg as well. Like, Cure has been playing very differently as of late. And there it is. So, factory into starport, no expansion. No expansion, all on 2 base. Ooh, gets a queen. Uh-oh. Reapers, they shut down a queen. These Reapers, they should not have been doing this much damage. The things they were supposed to gain map control and they haven't. Uh-oh. This is looking more and more dire here for DRG. And the Cure, he's about to pull the trigger. He still has to wait a little bit longer. +1 is still on the way. Stim is still on the way. Looks like he's searching for overlords. Yeah, he gets spotted. He gets spotted by the first overlord. DRG responds. Does hide the second overlord as well. Stim is done. This is almost like a Bjorn-esque push. Moving out without medevacs, but with Stim, and he does find an overlord. Gets one. Supply blocks DRG. Now pushes towards the base. Gets a queen as well. That's a second queen falling. Oh. And here comes a dive. Yeah, Lings he went for this round, and they should clean this up. Yeah, Cure, never mind, he slips away. There we go, he's gonna be cleaned up. Very efficient trade here from Cure, but he will lose all the Reapers and lose every single Marine. Was this worth it? Sure, he got an Overlord and he got a Queen. But that was a big loss here for Cure. And what's important is it wasn't just that was a loss, that weakens the follow-up timing, right? That weakens that +1 timing that we were going for. Instead, Cure going for drop play. Does move out with the double drop. DRG, still at 7 queens. Getting another expansion, has been droning. And the Cure, he should not break this position. There should be enough here. Yeah, DRG is holding. It's holding on. By the way, it's still no expansion, but it's a 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in out of Cure. It's just doubling down. There's no base, there's no fault, there's no future here for Cure's army. The longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for DRG. But this is still going to hit like a truck. It's going to hit hard. Now, my biggest concern, do you see any Banelings? We have a Baneling nest. Baneling speed has just begun. But with purely Ling Queen, I mean, Cure, he has potential. He has potential to break through. He has potential with this army. There we go. We have 5 Banelings now morphing in. They're going to be slow Banes. And with that, the base is going to go down. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Takes out one of the queens. Gets 1, gets 2. Takes down 2 queens. Lings are coming from behind. Nice round. Yeah, nice round here on the main army. And I believe that DRG should clean this up. And he will. And DRG, he does lose a base. Doesn't have the best economy, actually. He's lacking drones. He's lacking drones here. Obviously, you don't want to overdrone against an all-in, but you do want to be at least at 3-way saturation. Currently, Cure has a better economy than DRG. As Cure has an equivalent worker count and he has mules on top of that. So DRG's economy is hurting him here. Going for another expansion. Baneling speed kicks in. DRG will clean this up. Once again, takes down the tank. Meanwhile, Cure drops into the main. He wants the queens. And he will get them. Gets 1, gets 2. Dropping back over to just hopping back and forth between the main and the 4th. Just keeps going. And DRG, he's just struggling to expand. Cure, I believe I saw a 3rd CC in production. Yeah, there we go. 3rd CC now is being taken for Cure. And again, my biggest concern here, typically last game, the big advantage for DRG wasn't that he was holding and defending, he was on 80 drones during that 3-base all-in defense. That was last game. Here, he's on 50. Like, there's just nothing. There is no economy. And the Liberators are going to make sure there's even less. As the Liberation has arrived, does cover both mineral lines. Cure, he's up, what, 10 workers at this point? Plus mules. It's getting up to his own 3-base saturation. DRG falling behind economically, which is something that should not have been happening given this kind of game state. But it feels like DRG overreacted early on. Again, to cut workers when he did, like, it was just too soon. It's far too soon. And now Cure's just getting ahead. He's getting further ahead. GG gets caught. We don't even get a final fight as Cure, he ties up the series 1-1. GG. Yeah, it felt like a bit of a misread there from DRG. Again, he cut workers he cut workers at 50. Really early on, he cut worker production, and it meant that Cure just had a better economy. He was all in with a better economy, which is crazy. So DRG just fell behind further and further along. As the game progressed, it was just getting worse and worse for DRG, and in the end, he was just outscaled. He just got outscaled. He was just too far back, too far behind, and with that, GG, well played. Cure ties up the series, and now we are going into the ace match. We're going into game 3. Going to be loading into Tokamak. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. Tying up the series 1-1, it is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? Can he bring it home? It is Dong Rei Gu. We go. As this time Cure sets up on the high ground. Remember last game, it was just a really uncomfortable game for DRG, where Cure did open up 3x Reaper, and there was just so much pressure on DRG where he just had a really hard time keeping up. He was bleeding out queens, bleeding out lings, and again, it also did stifle his own drone production as well. Like, what really killed DRG that game was less so the aggression of Cure, or maybe that was a part of it, but more so that DRG did cut workers early. Right, he stayed on a very low drone count, so he was just outscaled over time. And with that, we're now settling into the final game of the series, the final game of the broadcast. Let's go. Here we go. Well, now Cure is expanding. Again, standard opener, just racks expand out of Cure. Likewise, hatch gas pool out of DRG. Just calming down as we're settling into the ace match. And again, it would be insane if DRG were to qualify over Cure. I do think there was potential in that last game, for sure. Was potential. As DRG did fail to qualify for GSL last season, and he has been very much so out of the limelight and out of practice. He has not been competing, but you know, he's holding his own. Behind this, third CC. So this time, economic opener out of Cure. He's been hyper aggressive this entire series. Game 1, 3-base all-in. Game 2, 2-base all-in. Here, he is going for an economic start. This can still lead to aggression, don't get me wrong. We'll keep an eye on Cure. I don't really expect an 8 racks though. Welcome to Tokamak. Oh, as DRG forced to expand elsewhere. Welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the largest maps in that pool. I would say second largest, second only to Maganatha. I'd have to double check and compare this map with Incorporeal. I know that Incorporeal is also another one of these larger maps. But Tokamak is more defensive. It is more defensive than Incorporeal. The reason for this is because we have a limited attack pass, so it is more easier to maintain and fortify yourself on 3 and 4 bases. Your 4 base setup is much more secure on this map than on Incorporeal or even on Maganatha. So very secure. And this often leads into longer and later games, which is why it makes sense that Cure is opening up economically. Behind this, a Viking first. He's not going Banshee, he's going for earlier Stim. Here we go. So this looks like Viking into Liberator. Technically, this can lead into Viking into Fusion Core, but the Fusion Core would have already been done. It's no crazy kind of BC opener or anything like that. Do we still go for the add-on swap? We do not. There is a build where if you can go Viking first and then go for an add-on swap into delayed Banshee, and the Viking is meant to make it so that your opponent skips spores and then you can get damage done. I know that Maru and Bjorn, they like mixing that in, but here it's going to be standard. Viking into Liberator into Stim. No Banshee. Oh. Meanwhile, Lair first out of DRG. Does go Lair first. A little bit chaotic here. Lair first into Eva Chamber, Baneley Nest. It's very gas intensive as the follow-up. But once again, Lingbane, not roaches. So DRG is embracing Lingbane. As the Overlord is hunted down. Curie sets up behind this, establishing himself on his 3 bases. And we're getting ready for the Hellion Tide. Moving in, racing past the Queens. Lings are in position though. And DRG will defend. He will defend, he will hold. Curie still trades well against the Zerglings, but does pull away. He bleeds out 2 Hellions for 9 Lings. Not the worst trade. Rotates once again, commits into the middle. He has no fear. Just goes in, gets 3 drones, gets 4, 5. 5 workers go down. Here he's oh no, they light up. They came in at the wrong moment, at the worst time there for DRG. Ay. The transfer. That was how many? 10 drones going down. Initially it was only 5, but he doubled that. He doubled that with the transfer. Ay. They walked right into the Hellion Fire. And that was worth it for Cure. Was worth it. Picks off a bunch of Lings, picks up a bunch of drones. Behind this is building up towards a longer game state. 5 rack setup on 3 bases, that is standard. And DRG has to re-drone. He has to re-drone, has to resaturate. This will slow him down. Likewise, getting to his upgrades. His upgrades are a little bit lopsided. Going into a later second Eva Chamber. Into later melee upgrades. Oh, I stand by what I said. How I don't really like this map for an 8 racks, but that's what's happening. God damn it. We have 5 in the main and 3 here at the 3rd base, so we have an 8 rack setup here. What I will say though is that Cure, he actually has full saturation on this gas geyser. That is interesting to me, as usually I believe you pull out. You pull out of this gas, as you're only making 12 Marines and 2 tanks at a time. Sorry, 1 tank at a time. So you don't need that much gas. As Cure, he does push. Does break out, denies the expansion. And we'll see if DRG can hold on. He's going for his link counterattack, but alas, Curie's ready back at home. He's in position. He denies the run by. Now, this is still only the first wave. Cure, the second wave is building up. Remember, this is a 3-base all-in. He is making 12 Marines at a time, purely Marine tank. He's not teching. His goal here is to end the game. Also, no 4th CC. Oh, but Cure, he's supply blocked. Uh-oh. Now's not the time. Supply block will slow Cure down. As DRG does commit in. Oh, denies the initial Marines. He saves the base. So far, so good. Ling Rama here across the map. Comes in for the surround. It's a little bit messy here, but he does break through the Marines. Does get into the mineral line. And Bailings are rolling in. Oof, nice target find with the tanks. Does focus on those Bailings. But despite that, SCVs are still going down. Decent damage here from DRG. It's decent. And at least back at home, he's re-expanding, taking more bases. DRG is slowing down a Cure, but he lost a lot of supply doing that. He lost a lot of Lings in the process. That was not an efficient trade out of DRG. And you can see he plummets in supply. I mean, it came down to the target firing. Like, the mineral line survived. The mineral line did survive, barely killed any SCVs. And Cure, again, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. The 3-base all-in continues. It failed in game 1, but it's working here in game 2. It is working. It is paying off. Also, I was curious about why this gas was saturated. It looks like it was a fake out. He doesn't have saturation here at the natural. So that does make more sense. Now pushing in. Again, Cure, he's committing. Bailey's gets hearted down, and DRG, he's being overwhelmed. He just doesn't have enough. GG gets called. The ARAX will overwhelm, and Cure, he will take the series 2-1, qualifying for GSL. GG. GG, well played. And this further does kind of cement the fact that Cure, he has kind of re-approached StarCraft in a way. We spoke about this at the end of GSL last night. If you're watching GSL Season 1, if you're watching Cure's game, I think he macroed once in the one game in the entirety of Season 1 of GSL. Like, he went for nothing but all-ins. 2-base all-ins, 3-base all-ins in every single matchup. It was crazy. And that continues here as well. 3-base all-in in game 1, 2-base all-in in game 2, 3-base all-in in game 3. Like, just hyper-aggression. Like, he hasn't really been playing any kind of longer macro setups. Not like other players. And this feels like a recent change for Cure. Feels like just because, I mean, it is a recent change, right? A couple of months ago, or even 2 months ago, like, Cure, he was much more a standard player, much more mid-game, late-game oriented. But in the lead up to GSL, he has kind of reapproached things, which I find really interesting. And I was really curious to see if that was going to continue here. So far, it is continuing, and my eyes are going to be on Cure coming into Dallas. Congratulations to Cure, he does qualify, but Dallas, of course, is tomorrow, and Cure is going to be there. Everyone's going to be there, and I'm curious to see if this trend continues into Dallas as well, where Cure is just non-stop aggression and non-stop all-ins. We'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely, that's something that's in the back of my mind when it comes to watching Cure at Dallas, for sure. Meanwhile, GG, well played. Cure, he does qualify for GSL, does make it through, and DRG, he gets knocked down. No, sorry, DRG, yes, he will have to try again next time at the last chance qualifier, as we can switch our scenes over and catch up on our matches tonight. Here we go. As you can see here, Jesus, 6 series, 6 back-to-back best of 3s. We had a lot of ace matches, a lot of late game as well. Hero, longer games, I should say. Hero did take down Rogue. Hero qualified. Hero qualified over Rogue. Rogue qualified over Percival. Maru qualified over Bjorn. Shin qualified over Bjorn as well. Classic qualified over DRG, and Cure qualified over DRG at the end of the broadcast. Again, we have our first 6 players making it through into Season 2 of GSL. And later on tonight, in 5 hours time, oh boy, in 5 hours we're going to be live again with our next broadcast with another 6 best of 3s, another 6 qualifying matches. Oh boy. Bam, as you can see here, we have our schedule this week. Again, we are live all day, every day. We just wrapped up our morning broadcast, and again, in 5 hours time, we're going to be live with our next set of GSL matches. We're going to be featuring players like Solar, Creator, and Gumiho. Ooh, okay, so Solar, Creator, and Gumiho, they're in a group together, so they're going to be fighting to make it through, to make it into GSL, alongside some more winners matches alongside them. So again, 6 more best of 3s are coming up around the corner. We'll do our best to bring them to you later on in 5 hours. And then in 11, sorry, not in 11 hours, Jesus. Is it? Yes. 6 hours after the start of the next broadcast, we are going to be live with DreamHack Dallas. So back to back. There probably won't be enough time to nap in between, I'll be honest, unless they're like a lot of like 2-0s and some faster games. It's going to be a pretty intense broadcast. I'm expecting maybe around like a 16-hour cast, a GSL into DreamHack Dallas is usually 12-hour days. We might get a little bit shorter and maybe like 10 hours instead, 10 hours of DreamHack, but it's going to be intense. It's going to be an intense broadcast back to back. So we'll do our best. We'll do our best to bring you as much DreamHack and as much GSL content as we can over this weekend. DreamHack is going to be 3 days. So 3 days of DreamHack content, depending on where you are in the world, either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, which is the case for us. So 3 days of DreamHack Dallas. And again, everyone's going to be there. Kira's going to be there. Maru, Björn, Shin, Rogue, Solar, Zaun, Ryung, Gumiho. All the Koreans, all the top Koreans are going to be there at the event. Likewise, all the top Europeans are going to be there as well. It's going to be a very stacked tournament. The player participants table is already live. We already covered it during our podcast 2 days ago. We were able to live cover the reveal of all the players. And again, the lineup is insanely stacked. On top of that, we also are going to be casting the initial day. From my understanding, I believe we're only casting day 1, but we might also cast day 2 as well, depending on how long the group stage is. For those that are curious, it's 4 massive groups into the 8-player playoff bracket. I'm not too fond of the formats. It feels like we're missing a step. Usually it's like the open stage into like a smaller group stage into the playoffs, but here it's just groups then playoffs, just bam, one into the other. So it's a bit of a slimmer format in a sense, but the groups are huge. The groups are massive. It is double elimination groups as well, and the groups are like 16 players each. Like the groups are insanely huge. So yeah, we'll pick a group and we'll follow some players, and I still don't know what to cast yet. I still don't know what we're going to be casting. I don't think the groups have been seeded, so we're waiting for check-ins to complete, and then we'll have confirmation of what the groups are going to be. That'll be tomorrow, I imagine. That will be tomorrow. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And again, we're also going to be finishing off the GSL qualifiers tomorrow. You can see we just wrapped up the morning GSL broadcast. Then in 5 hours, we're live with more GSL. And then tomorrow, 24 hours, then we have our final GSL broadcast to wrap up all the qualifiers. To wrap it all up. Have some good rest. I hope I'll be able to sleep. That's my biggest concern. I need to get as much sleep as possible. 4 hours. Let's go. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. What's the objective top 5 at the moment? Hard to say. I think top 5 objectively, I would say Clem, Hero, in no order necessarily. Clem, Hero, Serral, Raynor. I think those are the top 4. I think worldwide top 5, 5th would be Max. I think he'd be there. For offline tournaments, I think there's an argument for 5th place. I don't think there's a clear 5th place. Especially because Maru right now is not in form. He's not as in form as he used to be. So you can make an argument for like Björn or Cure or Classic or Showtime, or you can make an argument for the 5th place right now for offline tournaments specifically. Worldwide, it would be Max. He'd be up there for top 5. Otherwise, you will cast. Yes. That's what I just mentioned. Yes, we're going to be casting Dallas. All 3 days. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We're going to be heading off, and again, we'll be back in 5 hours time with some more StarCraft. Until then, I'm going to try to force myself to sleep as much as I can before a full day of 16-hour broadcast. Let's go. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Also follow us. We do cast live more than any other channel out there, more than Wardy, more than Steadfast, more than anyone else. We do all the casting here on the CranKy Ducklings. We have the quantity and we have a little bit of the quality as well. Likewise, you can support us on Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments. We do host events on a regular basis, and it is all funded via Patreon. 100% of that money goes towards the players. So if you want to help support the scene and support the community, you can do so via Patreon as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for a full day of StarCraft. See you then. Ciao, bye, ciao. See you then.